All right, welcome back. We're up to chapter 20 now. We're going to work on generating a secure and memorable password. A pretty uh, fun thing to do, and the inspiration for this came from an XKCD comic that says a lot of the efforts that we've gone to over the last many years to suggest how to create an unbreakable, an unguessable password. Maybe we take some sort of a word or maybe some sort of an acronym, and then we start doing these substitutions and making sure that there's both capital and lowercase letters, and putting in a zero for an O, and adding random bits of punctuation. That this ends up creating really difficult passwords to remember. And so while they're difficult to they might be difficult to crack, or maybe they're actually not, they're also hard to remember. And the comic suggests that if we just randomly select 4 words and put them together, like correct horse, battery, staple, that's actually a pretty good password. And so that would be a better way of generating passwords. So to that end, we're going to use a file that's commonly on most Linux systems, Unix systems, under user share dict words. On my system, that's where this dictionary file is located, and it contains over 235,000 words. I can look at that here on my system. Let's see. I can use our old let's see, WC program. We can even use our own, and it's under user share dict words. And yes, I see it contains 235,886 words there. And if we do a head on that file, we see that just starting from A and up through aardvark and aren. Let's do a tail on that as well. And zymotoxic, and so a lot of pretty crazy words. So if we use this to generate our password, we see that it can come up with some pretty crazy passwords. Crotal leaves mirrored logi. This is not going to be easy to remember. So it would actually be better if we were to select from a smaller subset of words, like say something from the Constitution, which has a lot fewer words. The average speaker tends to use between 20 and 40,000 words. So if we were to choose from a document that actually had commonly used words in their basic frequency of natural speech, then we'd probably come up with some better passwords. So like here, det 7 answer best. That may or may not be a good password for you, but it's definitely something easier to remember. So to that end, I created a program that I added into the repository here, and it's called Harvest. And of course, you can run it with let's see, with -h, and it says that I need to install this module, so I'll do that real quick. Pip install the spacey module. Let that run for a second. And so the point of this this program is to help select nouns, verbs, and adjectives from some sort of a program, from some input file. So let's try Harvest again. And I've included that for you under the there's a directory here called Constitution, and if we look in the Constitution, you'll see that there's a nouns. Let's just look at the head on all of those. For the adjectives, these are the adjectives that Spacey found from the U.S. Constitution. Here are some of the nouns, and here's some of the verbs. And so if we used one of these files, for instance, it might be an even better passwords that we're generating. I also really love the Scarlet Letter, so we have the same thing under the Scarlet. There are adjectives, nouns, and verbs that you can use. And finally, there's also let's see, I think it's under sonnets. Yes, I love the Shakespearean sonnets. And so here are some adjectives, nouns, and verbs that you can use from Shakespeare. And I included the Harvest because I want you to be able to run that on texts that are important to you, that maybe, song lyrics from your favorite band. Maybe that would be a fun source of words to use to generate a password. So I've left this in the repository for you to use as well. So that's going to be the source. We can use any number of source input files for our seeds, for the source of the words that we use. We could use the user share dict words if you want to use all the words in the English language, but it's probably better to use some sort of a collection of text files that are more meaningful to you. And this is unlike the XKCD comic, we're going to title case each word so that we can see them more easily. So here from the sonnets, barren wilt, female seldom. That's a pretty interesting password. And also most password rules do at least want you to have a mix of upper and lower case. So this helps us to see each of the words better. If we wanted to make them harder to guess, we could do the substitution. Now this is going back to what we did with jump to 5, the same kind of idea of substituting one character for another character, and we're going to call that the leet flag. So when leet is there, we're going to do this two things. We're going to use the ransom algorithm to randomly upper and lowercase the letters, and then we're going to do a substitution. Actually, sorry, three things. We're going to do some substitutions, like here the O in bold got turned into a 0. The A here in pale got turned into an @ sign, and then we're going to add a random piece of punctuation to the end. These are actually, I would say, almost impossible to remember, but they are very good passwords. So you could use these, maybe put them into a password manager. So that's what we're going to be doing in this exercise. So in the next video, we'll get started.